Welcome back. You are still watching Morning Live. Now, the Formula One season gets underway tomorrow morning out at Melbourne Park in Australia. And to talk to us about this, and the upcoming season, we've roped in two respected Formula One analysts in Sasha, Martinengo, as well as Lufefe, Mayekiso. A very good morning to you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I want to start with you, Sasha, and just start the conversation speaking about Domenicali going to be staying on right at the helm of Formula One for yet another 5 years. What do you make 4 years? What do you make of him staying on at Formula One at the helm?
Morning, Busiwe. Just so fantastic to chat with you again. I think it's fantastic news for the world of Formula One. Domenicali comes with so much credibility. He did a brilliant job with all of the years at Ferrari, just didn't manage to bring a world champion through Sebastian Vettel or Alonso, and unfortunately got the chop for that. I still think they regret that decision to this day. Went to Lamborghini, got roped into Formula One, has brought in the culture of Formula One to Liberty Media, and this was a no-brainer. And from all of the reports that I saw overnight as well, all of the teams, drivers, the motorsport world, very, very excited that Domenicali is going to be continuing his role. I think it's a fantastic decision.
And of course, Domenicali is a man that is pro having a Formula One race coming to South Africa.
Yes, and I mean, that also bodes exceptionally well for us. A couple of weeks ago, I was very fortunate enough to chat with the Minister of Sport, Minister Gayton McKenzie, and he's very buoyant and bullish that we can get a race. And I think if all of the pieces of the puzzle fit together, 2027, Africa, South Africa, here we are.
That would be very interesting to see. Lufefe, let me bring you into the conversation. I want to speak about the form guide. If we look at the end of last season, a lot of people would say McLaren is certainly going to be the team to beat this time around. Speak me through who's your top four. What's your top four looking like this season, and what's that order?
Good morning to you and your viewers, Vusiwe, and thank you for having me once again. Yes, I have to agree with you. McLaren look like they are the early season starters. However, we don't really like to read much into preseason testing because most teams don't want to show their hand so early. So my top four, I would say McLaren first, I would say Ferrari second, and between Mercedes and Red Bull, I'm not sure, but I'll put my head on the block and say Red Bull, considering how well they've done, and then followed by Mercedes in fourth.
Sasha, are you agreeing with this top four?
Yeah, I mean, Lufefe is 100% correct. I mean, we can't really read too much into testing besides the data that we are provided. And of course, that data is exceptionally important to the teams. But for us, we don't know fuel loads, we don't know tire wears, etc. But McLaren do seem to be the form team right now. We're not sure what Ferrari left sandbagging. Mercedes seem to have a little bit of tire wear issues. Red Bull, as we know, began last season and dominated the first 5 races, but we don't know really what their form is. They did fall off quite a bit towards the end of 2024. However, they do have the max factor. So don't discount Max Verstappen, that's for sure. You do that at your own peril because he's probably one of the greatest ever.
And I want to talk to you about those inter-team battles that we're going to be seeing this season. I want to speak on a Lewis Hamilton versus Charles. We've got a George up against Kimi. We've got a Sainz up against Alexandra. What do you make of those inter-team battles?
Okay, well, I think, listen, the first, people haven't spoken about it because it was announced in February last year, but Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari, I don't think I've seen hype in the world of Formula One like this for a long time. So I think this wonderful combination of Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari is quite exceptional. I think he will struggle a little bit against Charles Leclerc over the one-lap pace. However, he struggled against George last year over one-lap pace with no motivation and only, I think it was 6 points behind at the end of the season. Sainz against Albon, I think, is going to be exceptionally tight. The two of them, you can't really call anything. But the one that I really think we've got to watch is George Russell and Kimi Antonelli. 18 years old, Antonelli is blindingly fast. If he can keep his head together and not crash like he crashed at Monza, this is a kid to watch. I think the first few races are going to be critical in this young man's career, but Kimi Antonelli is the guy that I would keep my eye on.
I thought you were going to say if he moves into a different car, but let's leave that for now. Lufefe, I want to talk to you about Liberty Media and what they've been able to do in the sports of Formula One. What is your report card on them?
I think they've done more good than bad, because basically since Liberty Media took over, Formula One has been brought to the people. They've converted and moved into the digital age with a mobile app, functioning website, F1 TV. They've introduced Drive to Survive, the behind-the-scenes series, Formula One series. So that has really promoted the sport globally, and obviously them being keen to bring F1 back to Africa also gives them a good mark there. So I think generally, since they've taken over, they're doing really well.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time this morning. We are certainly looking forward to what's going to unravel as we get the Formula One season underway for 2025 out in Melbourne. Thank you so much. That's Sasha, Martinengo, as well as Lufefe Mayekiso, well-respected Formula One analysts, just looking forward, of course, to the start of the Formula One season.